Hey folks, Jake and Ari here again, just to talk a little bit about the job of the preppers or the people in the tunnel, our team members in the tunnel, when we're not washing cars. So on days like today, it's a little rainy out. We don't have a lot of guests coming in. We've got our safety cone out here blocking any incoming traffic from coming in. It's important that me and my team member here communicate to each other on all of the various checklists that we have. We have the hourly checklist. We've also got the daily checklist, and we should always be on task between washes. There's a lot to be done in the tunnel, and we're just going to talk a little bit about what that is. So when I'm on the driver's side of the tunnel, my job is to essentially clean the driver's side of the tunnel. So when I go to my daily checklist, I have items like cleaning the interior windows, cleaning the walls, and washing the bay floors. These things can be done between cars. And I'm going to rely on my wingman to address the passenger side of the tunnel. And together we will be able to physically be able to wash the entire tunnel each and every shift. Art, do you want to talk about some of the responsibilities that the wingman has?
So absolutely. Now, first and foremost, my job as the wingman is to support the tunnel boss or the boss, and that's Jacob on the driver's side. I'm going to talk about some of those responsibilities now. So obviously, and you saw this in the video, my key job is to be the eyes and ears, so to speak, of the boss while loading vehicles on the passenger side of the vehicle. But in between vehicles, right, when we've got that safety cone in place, we've got other things we need to do and can do. The cone is important because it ensures that while we are doing other things, a vehicle doesn't attempt to load the tunnel, creating an unsafe condition for the guest or for all of our teammates. So we put the cone in place, we go to work. Now, one of my jobs as the wingman is to make sure that our prep buckets are fully stocked and ready to go. We're providing you, along with these training videos, some of the details around how many buckets and where, but my job as a wingman is to fill those buckets, whether it's the hot rinse water or the warm soapy water that we use for prepping a vehicle in this front utility room, and to bring them out for myself and for the boss position. And again, we try to put them in place. So we're always going to put the rinse buckets in the front, put them in the front, put the soap buckets in the rear, again, toward the tunnel entrance side, so we know they're always in the right place and we aren't mixing and matching. I'm using right here my dirt
Separator. Yep.
separator, and this is critical to go in the bottom of the soap bucket. Without this, the brush could be sitting in sand, dirt, rocks. You pick that brush up if it's sitting in sand, dirt, and rocks and scrub the back of the vehicle, you're going to potentially cause damage. So this dirt separator has to be in the bottom of the soap bucket. And we put it in there so that brush is always sitting above anything that might have accumulated in the bottom of the bucket. And that's a critical job that I have, and I do that on every vehicle. Again, we want to stress, when you're prepping, you're using trigger guns. You've got to use the trigger guns if there's heavily caked on sand or dirt or otherwise, and we've already described that earlier. One of my other key jobs is to clean the passenger side of the tunnel in between vehicles when we have that cone in place. So all of the areas that are obviously on the passenger side of the belt fall under my responsibility. If there's debris, if there's anything that's maybe blown off of a vehicle or otherwise, I'm picking that up and I'm doing my job in cleaning the windows and otherwise. Very, very importantly, when we have 3 team members on staff and I'm assisting the boss in this wingman position, I also have primary responsibility for vacuum area cleaning and maintenance. That means I'm checking all the vacuums for operation. I'm making regular visits out there when we have downtime in between vehicles. I'm making sure any trash is emptied and put in the dumpster area, or first in the cart in the dumpster area. Critical job that falls upon me. When we have a 4th team member on, we may be able to assign somebody else to that role. That's part of the communication process and use of the headsets. Otherwise, that's my job, and I have to make sure it's done on a routine basis. Whenever we're not loading vehicles, right, or I'm not assisting loading vehicles in the wing position, I'm either in here cleaning, as I described, or filling buckets, or I'm out at the vacuums, servicing the vacuums, making sure all the rubbish is taken care of. Jake.
Yeah, and I always want to draw the attention back to the checklists. It's a team job, right? Nobody can do it alone. So make a habit of checking your checklists frequently. There's a lot of inspection tasks that must be done hourly. It's not a suggestion, it's an ask of every single teammate. So as you communicate with your wingman, things like inspecting the wash cycle for proper operation, making sure the blowers are working properly, inspecting the tunnel for debris. These should be done hourly. And you have the benefit of having a teammate with you that can look at the passenger side while you look at the driver's side. So we can watch a wash together and make sure that all of the hoses and applicators and brushes are all spinning and firing as they should. This is very important to make sure not only that we don't have an equipment failure, but that we also have the very best quality for every single wash. So, team up with your partner, look at the hourly checklist together, and let's figure out, hey, what do we need to get done? Oh, we're due for an hourly inspection. Let's watch the next wash that comes through. We'll walk it together, make sure all the brushes are spinning correctly. We'll make sure there's no debris. We've got good blowing power in the drying room. Tire shine is working. These are all really critical tasks that can be done if we're intentional and we have the sense of urgency to get it done.
Yeah, I think that's important. I just emphasize that for the team. The checklist is your roadmap to success. When there's ever a question of what should we do, refer to the hourly checklist. It's got everything on there, and with the technology we have, the headsets and otherwise, you can all easily communicate about what needs to be done in the facility throughout all hours of the day. And Jacob's point on inspecting a wash or watching a wash is a critical task that the boss and the wingman share to make sure they're doing every hour. And again, watching every component from start to finish, right through to tire shine, to make sure everything's happening as it's supposed to, and then doing all the other tasks in between, right? Always something to do here. There's lots of tasks going on. We have the roadmap, and with the team effort, we can get all these things done on every given day.
I think that about sums it up.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.